Brian Rao, Boston Sports Journal. How surprised were you guys to see Robert Williams still on the board at number 27?
Well, yeah, Danny and Mike really started talking about him around 17 or 18, and he's a really talented guy. There's a lot of good players out there, and each pick we were hoping more and more that he would be available at 27.
Coach Sherrod Blakely, NBC Sports Boston. When you had a chance to look at Robert this year, what are some of the things outside of rebounding and defense, which we know he can do, but what are some of the other skills that he presents when you watch him out there on the floor?
Well, I think when you look at guys with size and how they can impact the game now, he's got good feet, he's a good athlete, he's got a 7'5" wingspan, and he plays way above the rim. And the ability to block shots, ability to alter shots, the quickness to catch up to guard shooting if they get a step, being able to still alter that. And then, obviously, if you can have 4 shooters on the floor and a guy like that roll into the rim, you can just throw it up in the air and he can go get it and finish it. And I think that, there's a lot of things that he brings to the table, but those are the things that translate sooner rather than later. And, as he continues to improve his skill and everything else, we'll see where all that goes. But right now, he's an elite athlete and with incredible length.
Mark James Essen, coach, he was projected to be a lottery pick even before the season, throughout the season. Why do you think he fell all the way to number 27?
Yeah, it's not my job to know what the other 26 teams are thinking. They obviously all have a lot of people that work hard and try to find and target the right pick for their team. We thought that he was the right pick for us, and we felt very fortunate to be able to get him tonight. He's a very good player. There are a lot of good players out there, and I guess it's not my job to assess that.
Brad, Matt Votor, MassLive. When the guy that you didn't work out is all of a sudden somebody that you look at and think might fall to, are there things that you guys do to double check on, or things to find out just to make sure?
I said this earlier today over at the Boys Club, that nobody works harder than Danny. Nobody works harder than our front office at going and watching players play live all year long. The workouts to them are just a formality in a lot of ways. So the idea of them coming to Boston is great and all, but they've already watched them play live a bunch, spent time with a lot of their coaches and people around the program and everything else. So a lot of times that's to our benefit as coaches, because we didn't get a chance to see those guys live during the season. So. But I don't think you need to watch much to know how athletic he is. It's pretty evident on film, and obviously we think that translates.
Right. Jay King, The Athletic. Rob, Williams doesn't really fit the mold of the big men you guys have kind of had during your tenure for the most part. What excites you about the idea of having a lob catching rim man, and then what are the challenges that he'll see kind of fitting into your offense where big guys handle the ball a lot away from the basket?
Yeah, I mean, as far as handling and passing, I think he's actually got a good foundation there. I think that he will improve his shot and get right to work on that. But handling and passing, I think he'll be able to do that and continue to get better at it. We put a lot of time into ball handling with our bigs from day one once they get here, and obviously into the dribble handoffs and a lot of the passing. He won't have any better role models than the guys in front of him. And so, I think that those are things that over time will certainly be there, but I think sooner rather than later. And then, we saw this a little bit with Tice this year and Al in the playoffs quite a bit, and Baines, when you can get a step with size and just throw it up in the air, no matter how consistent the help is at being over, you're going to draw something. You're either going to be able to get lobs, or you're going to be able to skip it to the corners because they have to overhelp because that threat is just so big. And so I think that, you know, some of the best fives in the game are elite running athletes to the rim, and I think that certainly Robert has shown that he's a very, very good athlete.
I'm Brad, Mike Petralia, CLNS Media. Obviously, you guys have created quite the atmosphere here for young players like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to contribute right away. How will that atmosphere help a guy like Robert Williams step in right away and contribute whatever his role might be?
Well, I think the atmosphere part of it is this, and this is the responsibility of those guys, Jason and Jaylen, the other young players. When Robert gets here for Summer League, when he sees, you know, Al Horford and, you know, working out in the weight room like he was today, or Gordon Hayward doing his rehab like he was today, like other guys in and around the gym, I think the biggest key in the environment is he's got to come to work. So like next Friday when he gets here and does his introductory press conference, is that breaking news?
It is now.
That is now. When he comes on Sunday, you know, all the hoopla will be done. It's time to get to work. Thanks.
Thanks, Brad.
See you next.